All right, back here with Marlo Peterson, further talking HSA strategies. So talk us through, well, preventive care is probably the
Well,
big
for
one.
sure. One of the great things about every qualified plan is it comes with preventative care. And oftentimes, again, employers and employees, they just either don't know it or just don't take the time to take advantage of it. And I encourage everybody that has a qualified plan, boy, you can get a physical every year. You can get your flu shot. Maybe if you're a spouse or if you're the owner, you're pregnant, you can have your prenatal checkups, even your well child checkups. If your health, if it's determined it's preventative, the health plan itself is going to pay for that, and so that's not money out of my pocket. I think it's not a good deal for employees to not take advantage of that because you're paying for it theoretically in your premium.
Yeah.
So don't give it back to the provider. Take advantage of those preventative benefits. And the reason I really say that is, in a physical, when my physician catches something small, usually doesn't hurt very much,
Yeah.
and it can be treated probably for a lot less expense than if it progresses into big treatment.
Yep.
So preventative care is a really big piece. Another thing, and I think this is important whether you have a health savings account or not, but certainly very relevant if you have a health savings account, because remember, that's my money. Whether I put it in there or my employer puts it in there, it belongs to me. And we don't spend our money probably frivolously out of our checking or savings account, so why would we do that out of our HSA?
Yeah.
And so the idea of maybe shopping for value and some of these things might be more commitment than we want, but I'll tell you one nice little strategy is whenever myself, my spouse, or my kids, when we go to the provider, when we go to the pharmacy counter, when we call to make an appointment, it really doesn't matter what we do because we know that the money in the health savings account belongs to us.
Yep.
And so we want to be in control of that. And one way I can control that is how much care I get. Now, I certainly don't want to shortchange my care, but I want to make certain when I sit down with my provider that they understand I'm covered by a qualified plan and that everything we talk about today, I'm going to pay for with my HSA dollars. And so I often kind of say to my provider, Doc, I want you to reach down into that doctor bag of yours and find the best and most cost-effective way to treat what we're talking about today. Let's really evaluate together if some of the tests that is this stuff necessary? So I want to be very much in charge. I definitely don't want to shortchange my care, and that's why I think the preventative pieces are important. But I also want my doctor and myself, the billing department and myself, the pharmacist and myself to understand I'm paying for this, not a health insurance company. So the same is true at the pharmacy. Very few people today still have that stigma around generic prescriptions. But Andrew, I think science and that industry has proved that the same ingredients go into the medication. It's just done in a generic format. Walmart and Target, not to promote them, but I think they still sell generics for about $4.
Yeah.
Now, the misconception is a lot of people think they can't take those drugs, and it's very rarely does your doctor say that you can't take those.
Yeah.
So I would encourage people, if you're not paying for a generic, you probably should be.
Sure. The only other thing I can think of is the e-visit, so the online.
Yeah, of course. And so technology today, anybody with a smartphone or access to a laptop that has a computer or a camera on it can take advantage of an e-visit. And so there's different types of that. One where I might email a provider and the provider's going to email back to me. There's other ones where I can actually have a video chat.
Mm-hmm.
These visits are usually somewhere around $40. Now think about going to your clinic for that. That same visit is pushing $200.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like the camera idea, and so that we can read each other's body language.
Yep.
And I feel a little bit more of a connection, and most definitely the provider feels a connection to me.
Yeah, a lot of times you know kind of what's wrong with you, like if you have a sore throat, or that's kind of the one I use mostly, but you know what's wrong, but you can't get the prescription until you actually get it prescribed. So
you really bring up a good point there too, because as much as I believe in e-visits, I always have to back that up and say, caution, if you're having chest pain or signs of a stroke, we shouldn't worry about the money in our health savings account and an e-visit. There's definitely a place for the emergency room, most definitely. But my history shows, and a lot of the people I talked to with health savings accounts have gone to the emergency room, and I believe the number is somewhere around 30% of them come home with absolutely no treatment. So they went in for a stomach ache or a sore arm or something, and they come home with, there was really nothing wrong with them. So again, I'm not suggesting no care. I always like to believe the right care, the right price at the right time.
Sure.
And I've seen cases where people go into the emergency room because they think they need stitches, and and they come home with a butterfly Band-Aid. You know, that's an awful expensive way to take care of a cut, really.
Yeah.
And so I empower all of us with health savings accounts to try to be better stewards of the system.
Okay, great. So those are some quick strategies for employees, and hopefully you got some value out of learning some quick things from Marlo there.